Well, guys, hi, welcome to the channel. As you can see, these are my pens. I have had these pens for many years, and I have patched them many times. And we have some new holes, and I'm going to keep patching them forever. Because I don't throw out clothing because there's a hole in it. I just make a new patch. And I'm okay with that. I don't have a problem wearing clothes with patches. In fact, the idea of these pens is I would very much like for the whole pens to eventually be covered in patches, because I think it would look cool, actually, to be honest. So, and I really think we should repair our clothing as much as possible before buying new. This is 100% cotton material. So you can actually cut this up into little pieces and put it in your compost, and it will break down no problem. So there's a little hole here in between the patches. It seems to be wearing out in between the patches now, but that's okay. So I don't need a very big patch for here, but I'm not going to just sew it like that. I'm going to fold the edges over all around it, and we're going to tack it on there. So the patch is ready to go on. So I'm just going to put the patch right over the other patches. So holes here in the middle, so it's going to be covered, and it'll just reinforce the pens. No problem. So I'm going to pin it on. Now, I am no professional seamstress, guys. I am not. However, I can repair stuff, at least, but I can't make like my own clothes or anything like that. I'm not that good. I did make a skirt once, way back when. Back in the day, I actually took a pair of pants and cut it into a skirt and added material. But that was like many years ago. I really think that home economics should have never been taken out of school. I think people need a basic knowledge of sewing. I know it's a very, I guess people would say it's a very old thing, but you know, I would like people to know how to just put a patch on, to sew a button on, maybe to hem up their own clothing. Just basic knowledge, you know. And it's the same thing for cooking. You know, there's so many people out there that don't know how to cook. And I don't mean like 5-star meals or, you know, sit down courses of meals and very fancy dinners or whatever like that. I mean just basic stuff, you know. Teach people how to boil an egg, teach people how to fry an egg, teach people how to make pancakes, you know, at least teach people how to make roasted vegetables or a roast, you know, and like a one-pot meals type thing. So there's the patch is now pinned on, so that's fine. So we'll move on to the next hole. It shouldn't be hard to find because there's holes everywhere. These are very old pens, and I refuse to I refuse to admit defeat, guys. I refuse. So I'm just going to keep patching them. So this was a patch a while ago, but now the patch has worn out. So I'm going to patch the patch, which is fine. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, just throw them out. Oh my god, this is horrible. This is horrendous. This person must be the cheapest person in the world. And, well, I don't know. I mean, people are free to judge. I mean, it sucks that people judge, but yeah, people judge other people all the time. Maybe I'm judging people right now for thinking that they judge people all the time. Isn't that funny? So I'm just going to cut another patch, and you know, you can patch any color you want. Like this is different colors on black, so it stands out more, obviously. But you know what? Like I said, like me, I don't care. So I'm just going to cut a big square for this one. And the good thing is I'm not buying new clothes. I'm saving my old clothes. So there's a hole here. There's a hole here too. I don't know if you can see that, but you know, chat with me while we try and salvage my pants. Now, you know what's funny is, like, I can hear my mother. I could just hear my mother, like, in my head right now being like, Corey, you can't wear that. That's horrible. You gotta get rid of those. And I'm like, no, I'm just gonna keep patching them. It's fine. You know? And to me, it is fine. Because I'm not that picky. And as long as the clothes makes me happy, it doesn't matter what other people think of it. You know, I have a son that's 13 years old. I'm not that old, guys. I'm 42. I mean, people think it's old, but it's not that old. I mean, I'm not dead yet, guys. But my son's 13, and I want him to have basic sewing skills. We have a sewing machine, and I've been teaching him how to use the sewing machine. And I've been teaching him how to cook because, you know, like I said, basic skills, guys. Just basic skills. I mean, soup. Teach people how to make soup. Chop up the vegetables, throw it in a pot, add some water and stock, and you're done. You know, just easy stuff to learn. I think it's stuff that's forgotten. Everybody just wants everything that's fast and convenient. You know, if the microwave can't make it in 3 minutes, then it's too long, right? And I think that's kind of sad. And then people would just say, well, we don't have time. Everybody says we just don't have time anymore. And while partially I believe that to be true, that a lot of people just don't have time, but on the other hand, I also kind of feel that people don't find the time. You know what's funny is, I used to think like, I don't have time to do it, I don't have time. When I was working my full-time job and coming home and the commute, and I'm like, oh, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. But then when I came home and after supper, we'd sit and watch TV. You know, chill out after work and all that stuff. But then you keep thinking like, well, how many hours am I just sitting and watching TV? So I think people have more time than they think they have. But I think most people are just tired and just don't want to do it. The cool thing about this fabric is that this fabric was going to be thrown out. It was going to go to the landfill because somebody didn't want this fabric anymore. There was a lady and she was getting out of sewing. She was elderly, her kids were growing up, move away, and she said she doesn't really sew anymore. So I created a free group for our area on Facebook. So it's a free group, a buy nothing group. You don't pay money, nothing is for sale. Everything on the group is to be given away for free. And if you take an item for free, you can't sell it. You have to give it away for free back on the group. So that's the rule. And so she put her fabric up on the free group. And I was lucky enough to grab it. And I actually shared it with a few people, actually. because there was a lot. Because I use cotton, so this is like 100% cotton. I use like a stiffer, I would say a stiffer material, not a soft material like this t-shirt, more of a stiffer material. So whatever I couldn't use, I gave away to another person on the group. So to think that I'm patching a pair of pants that would be thrown out by anybody, by most other people, but I'm also patching them with fabric that was going to end up in the landfill anyways. That's pretty cool. Eventually though, there will be a time where I cannot patch these pants anymore. And that will be a sad, sad day, everybody. That will be a very sad day. Or there's going to be a time where there's literally not going to be any original pants left. And it's going to be nothing but patch pants. Like the whole pants are going to be made out of the patches, which, like I said, I'm kind of looking forward to that because I think it's going to look pretty cool. Because that's very much my style. I'm very, I never gave a crap about what I was wearing. And if people had an issue with what I was wearing, well, they can shut up about it. Or if they made fun of me in high school or whatever, I usually turned around, told them where to go, if you know what I mean. Now I also have a hole here. I went to pull them up and my hand went through it because the fabric is so thin now. And, well, what are you gonna do, guys? What are you gonna do? I know what you're saying. You just, for goodness sake, just go buy a new pair. Well, I'll tell you what. Number one, I can't find these exact ones being made anymore because they're quite old, actually. I'm trying to think of how old they are, and you're probably looking at 15 to excuse me, you're almost looking at 15 to 20-year-old pair of pants here. So those pants have been going for a very long time. So a zero waste lesson would be to repair your own clothes, to stop over consuming. A lot of the problems with the planet is people just keep buying stuff all the time. They just buy. People change their wardrobe like every month, every season, or there's so many seasons now in fashion, it's ridiculous. And if we all just slow down on our buying and repaired what we had, it would be a lot better. And to buy secondhand. Try to buy secondhand as much as possible before you buy new. Which I know is not always possible because I actually bought these pants new, like I said, 15 or 20 years ago. It must be 20 years ago now. And a lot of my issue is my size. Because I'm a bigger size, finding my size secondhand is not that easy, actually. And that's part of the reason I'm also hanging on to these pants, because I haven't found them again, or something similar in my size. Okay guys, we're going to start sewing. So, wish me luck. See how it goes. Don't be intimidated by a sewing machine. When I first got this machine, I was so thrilled because it was a gift from my boyfriend. And before that I was using 3 different vintage second-hand machines. And every single one of them had issues and didn't work properly. So what I did with this one was, when I got this machine, I literally sat there with the manual and I read that entire manual, and not only did I read the entire manual, but I, like, you know, the manual tells you what this is, it tells you everything, right? So I literally sat there and I like matched up everything to what the manual was saying and made sure I understood it. And when you're first starting, don't worry about all the fancy stitches. Like my machine has a bunch of stitches over here. Forget about it. Forget about it. The one you want to, what I'm using is, I'm using a C and I'm using size 3. Basically, you also have a chart over here that tells you what it is. It's a zigzag stitch. It literally stitches left to right, and it's a very strong stitch. So that's why I like it. Alright, so that one is done. There's actually a little knife here. You can cut your thread off. So that patch, look at that. See? Now up close, yeah, you can see it's a patch, but no one's gonna notice it's a patch. What if what I'm doing is normal? What if it was more normalized? What if this was an everyday standard thing? You know, if you think back, like, what, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, do you think people ran out to the store and bought new clothes all the time? I highly doubt it. I think people were a lot poorer back then. I think people had to make it last. And I think it was very normal for everybody to fix their clothes and repair their clothes. Now it's all fast fashion. Fast fashion is just like, you know, factories in overseas countries, horrible working condition for their people. In a sense, sweatshops. Some of them are. Even your big giant corporations, that multi-billion-dollar clothing companies. You know, that's why you can get a pair of pants for $5. And that's why you can get a t-shirt for $2. And everybody's like, wow, that's so amazing. That's such a good deal. T-shirts for $2. Well, there's a reason that t-shirt costs $2. Because they're literally making millions of them. So, I, for one, will continue to sew my clothes. The only thing left, guys, is to cut off all the strings, and these pants live again. They live again for another day, maybe another week, maybe another month. My mother always wants me to throw them out. She's like, you're not still wearing those pants. I said, yes, Ma, still wearing them. Isn't it funny, no matter how old you are, you still get in crap by your mother? Well, guys, this is the exciting video that hopefully you watched, and I appreciate you watching and showing up every week. If you show up every week, I will show up every week. With that said, have a good day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you next week.